1 a.m. now in Ukraine. Let's check in with Ukrainian journalist Andriy Deherla. He joins us from Hermanetsky in the western part of the country. Andriy, get us up to speed then. What's the latest you have on the civilian situation on the ground? Is there optimism over Russia's latest promise of a humanitarian corridor?
The situation on the ground in the cities that are blocked right now, that are waiting for these humanitarian corridors, is getting more and more dire by the hour. So it's been a few days already that most of the people in the cities like Mariupol, but also in Kharkiv, in Chernihiv, in Kyiv, and Sumy, a lot of people are not able to access things like water, or they don't have electricity, they don't have heat in many cases in their homes. They have to spend most of their times underground anyway, sheltering from the bombs. So there is right now very little optimism because 2 attempts at an evacuation have already failed. But at the same time, just a few hours ago, the 3rd round of negotiations between Russia and Ukraine ended. And the Ukrainian side, that without much details, that there have been some positive results achieved by those negotiations, while the Russian side has said that it is indeed ready to open humanitarian corridors at 10 a.m. Ukrainian time, that is 4 p.m. Singapore time today. The Russian side did not provide any specifics as to which routes it would open, and also it did not provide any specifics as to which mechanisms to keep the ceasefire this time it is going to employ. However, we may know more details within the next few hours, and there may be at least some cities may be evacuated later today.
Andriy, Ukraine is also calling for direct talks between Volodymyr Zelensky and Vladimir Putin. Given that both sides have doubled down on their positions, what common ground and compromise could there possibly be?
Yes, this is a very hard question indeed, and we already know by many reports that the main points that the Russian side is demanding is it's all about NATO, so that Ukraine has to renounce its claims to become part of any bloc, NATO in the first place, and it is about recognition of the so-called People's Republics occupied on the Russian-occupied territories, and the recognition of Crimea. So, as far as I understand, right now, President Zelensky does not really have the mandate from the people of Ukraine to agree to any of these demands. However, the point here, I think, is that whatever the middle ground is, if there is a middle ground to be reached, it is much faster. It will be much faster to reach it through direct talks between Zelensky and Putin than it would be through the lower level negotiations, as they have been progressing very slowly for now.
Thanks very much for speaking to us today. We've been speaking with a Ukrainian journalist, Andriy Deherla, and he is speaking to us from Hermanetsky in Ukraine.